My name is Luke from Yodo1 Games, and I recently sat down with Muhammad Hilal from Pakistan, who's the CEO of AptechMedia. Now, AptechMedia makes their own games, they're a gaming studio, but they're also involved in helping the gaming industry to grow in Pakistan, which involves also working with the government. So there are a lot of interesting things in the discussion about starting a studio, how to make it grow quickly, and working with larger entities. Very interesting stuff. I hope you enjoy the discussion. Let's get into it. Hilal, thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate having you here.
I'm honored to get invited on the show. Um, and
Yeah,
let's see how it goes.
see
I will
how
try
it
to,
goes.
yeah.
There's only one way to find out. Well, maybe just to start off, you could give a little bit more background on yourself. Maybe you could talk about your own background and how you started AptechMedia, maybe the backstory of AptechMedia.
I started AptechMedia along with my friends from my university back in 2016. Before that, we were doing a job in a gaming company. Playing games was actually a hobby for us from like very childhood. Then we explored how we can develop games, and after that, we went for a job in a game development company for like 1.5 years, and then we decided to start the company. Uh,
Was it
how it
were you not did you not really like working in the gaming industry in a big company, or was it just something you were excited to do? What made
well
you, I guess,
uh,
go from studio to your own?
uh, well working in gaming industry, something like you feel that okay, I'm developing game, but it's not the game that I want to develop. So
Hmm.
when you have like the direction for other type of games and you want to explore something else, then you are already developing in the company that you're working for. So at that time you have like that germ that no, I have to start my own studio to work on the kind of games I want.
Right. So it's a sort of I want to I want to follow my own thing, build my own thing, rather than doing something that somebody else is telling me to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's pretty reasonable.
Well,
So
one thing more, how it sounds like it will be a very easy thing, but when you start, you realize that, oh, I made a very big mistake.
well, and
Not a mistake, but like,
who said
it's
it
very
sounds
difficult.
who said it
Like,
sounds easy? I don't think it sounds easy. I think it sounds very difficult.
yeah, yeah. Oh, no, no. Well, but for the beginners, in start, it sounds very easy that, okay, I will start it and okay, I will have a few games in top charts and I will make this, and like the way the beginners think. So it's not that easy to start a
Right.
studio. Like, uh,
Can you share some of those things where you had those moments of oh, what have I done? Why why did I do this? What were some of those things that you realized when you were first starting Aptech Media?
well, first thing is when you develop games, you develop it for the audience and not for
Yeah.
yourself. So take care of the things that your audience like and not yourself. If you like a feature in the game but your audience don't like, don't stick to that feature in the game. Focus on the features that your audience like. Uh,
Right.
Other thing is you develop it for the audience. So focus on the games and don't stick to an idea that okay, I want to make a game that has features like this, and the game is in this category. But your audience is different, and your audience wants a different game with different features. So it's like very you should be very adaptive to this to kill your idea and make the game that your audience want.
So
Uh,
don't be afraid to kill ideas. That's I think good insights,
yeah,
because
but
some people
like
fall in love with their ideas, like this is going to be the best, and they get obsessed with that. That can happen, right?
well, if you want to develop it for yourself, like you want to play it, then develop it for yourself. But if you want to develop it for the audience, then listen to them and develop how they want the game.
Yeah, yeah. Well, how do you know what those things are, though? In other words, what are the best ways to decide first, okay, what game does my audience want? And once I decide what game, uh, how do I know what things they like that I can keep pushing toward? How do you figure that out?
First thing is you come up with an idea that okay, I want to develop this game. Then you develop a prototype of this game and share it with your friends, and you must have all the analytics in your game that okay, your friend will say, okay, I like the game, but when you check his analytics on the back end, he must have played it for 20 or 30 seconds and then he exit the game. So you know from that moment that okay, this is not the game that's going into market. You develop the prototype and you roll out to some 200-300 of users, and then get their analytics and see how they are playing the game and how is their behavior. After you check their behavior, then you decided, okay, I should go with this game or not. You should check the retention rates, the session time, and all the analytics that are necessary for the game. So you focus on those. That okay, all the analytics are in place. If not, kill it.
Kill
If
it.
yes, yeah,
This is a
go
great
forward.
lesson, I think. Don't be afraid to kill things and follow the data, right? If you can't even get your friend to play for more than 30 seconds, it's bad.
Yeah, yeah, it's bad. Actually, there are a few things like your decisions should be data driven, not your gut feelings should not be uh, driving you towards an idea. It should be only the data uh, that should make the decision. The second thing is like even if you search in on Google, there is killed by Google.com. There are a lot of ideas that Google killed.
Oh, it's the
Google
famous
started
Google
an idea.
graveyard, right? You got
Yeah, so yeah, the famous Google graveyard. So if Google can kill their ideas, they know that okay, the audience didn't like it. So like we, the indie studios and all the gaming studios, they should not be afraid to kill the ideas.
it's a good yeah, that's a great point. Google recently killed Loon. That's where they were flying Wi-Fi in balloons around the world. That didn't work out.
Even if you have checked Google Plus is no more
Oh
available
yeah,
like
that's gone.
Google,
Yeah.
Google Plus. So like there are a lot of things. There's like a list of dozens of products from Google that Google killed. So there's no shame like when you
Right.
kill your idea if it's not working in the market, if it's not working for the audience. There is no shame to like kill an idea and go for the next one.
I think that's called the sunk cost, right? People feel like, "Oh, I've put a year into this. That means I have to put more time into it to justify its existence, but actually maybe I should just kill it right away." But you said there's no room for the gut in the game. Is that totally true? Is there no room for intuition about what game to make? Is everything absolutely data driven, or is there any room for that? Wait a second, this would be a good idea, or not?
Okay. When you start developing a game, it's totally upon your intuitions and upon your guts and how how you take that idea from your brain into how you code it. But when you publish that game, after that, it's only comes to the data. Before publishing the game, it's all about your creativity, your mind, and how you want to develop the game, how you want every feature of the game to be. So it's all about your mind and about your intuition, gut feelings. But once you publish it, then it's up to the data which feature to keep and which feature to improve and which feature to remove. And
That
like
makes sense. Yeah.
it's a two-stage thing because in start you don't have any data when you didn't develop anything, but once you start developing, it's all about your creativity. You code your idea, make it a product, but when you present it to the audience, until you present it to the idea to sorry until you present it to your audience, it's all up to how your creativity is, how you want that idea to be carried out, and how you want the product to be. But once it's launched for the audience, then it's up to the data coming from the audience.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Now, you guys at Aptech Media are involved in more than just making games, though. You're also promoting the industry overall in Pakistan. I believe you're working with the government as well. Could you talk a little bit about the stuff that you're doing outside of gaming, or at least maybe part of gaming, but not just in making games?
Well, if you see a lot of countries, just like if you can see the example of Vietnam, when I studied the Vietnam model for the gaming, it totally inspired me that okay, a single industry just like gaming can also can have an impact on the whole national economy. Then if you can see like the Turkish model, they have like quite a lot of successes in the last 2 3 years, and they have a national impact on their economy. If we go like 4 or 5 years back, it was very difficult to make someone understand, especially here in I will say an example of South Asia or Southeast Asia, or specifically Pakistan. That okay, from the gaming industry, you can uh, you can earn a good chunk of money, and that can employ a lot of graduates, especially from the IT sector. But
Mm.
now, when we have a lot of such examples, such like the two examples I gave you, Vietnam and Turkey, because I studied their models very closely. So our government, they are also now very focused on game development and also game playing industry, and game playing industry. If you have seen last week, you should congratulate me for that, because I'm also from Pakistan. Arslan Ash won the UFL national, after he won the Evo. So I think now Pakistanis are going good also in game playing industry and also the game development industry. Uh,
Esports, right?
yeah, esports. Apart from esports, Pakistan have like more than 1,000 gaming studios, some big, some small, some doing like great work. Uh, but the industry is a bit new, and we want to like uh, give uh, the insights of the industry to our next generation of graduates, especially from the IT sector, from the design sector, and from the animation sector. That oh, okay, this is also an industry, and to be very honest, much bigger industry than a lot of industry that we think those industries are. Like this is very open for all. In other industries, if you go into manufacturing, you must have a factory, then a supply chain, then the distributors, a lot of things. Here, you develop a game and you have Google Play and App Store available right away. Like you can
Right.
compete with the global players with a better strategy. If you have a good better product, and you can have the market strategy that can compete with the global players. The platforms are equal. You can publish on Epic Store or Steam or Google Play or App Store. So there's like something that gives equal opportunity to all.
Right. That makes
Uh,
sense. That makes a lot of sense.
yeah, and it's very rare in other industries, because like for other industry you need like a lot of infrastructure for that, because if you want to build a factory, then you need like the physical space, and then you need your distributors, and then you need some raw materials, and like the whole supply chain. But in this, it's very easy. This industry also has their own prerequisites and requirements, but it's a bit easy to reach your customers.
Raw material of ideas. Could you give me a little bit more? Could you provide a bit more detail there on how is AptechMedia doing that, though, encouraging this industry growth in the gaming sector?
Yeah, sure. I will be very specific about this thing, like the models that we followed till now and the models that we are working on with the young graduates. Uh, and first, actually, we introduced a course on game development here in universities, because it was just an elective course, and our developers were going there to teach that course. Then we took an internship program for the young graduates to train the young game developers in gaming industry, and tell them that okay, working on a game development project is another thing, but working on a product that will go in the hands of the customers, it's like needs much more experience and much more focus on the details that
The
you should know.
business side too.
Yeah, like the business side too. And because when you are developing a project, you just say okay, these are the features, and okay, this complete, this is complete, this is complete, and the project is finished. But when you are developing a product, you take care of every single detail, because the product will go into the customers
Yeah.
into the customers hands, and believe me, the customers have no shame to give you 1 star rating.
Yeah. Well, that's a good thing because it keeps the quality high, right? As
Yeah,
you said,
yeah,
you're on a global marketplace. So people like what they like. It's all based on how good your game is. It's a pure
Yeah.
thing.
And actually there are millions of games, so they have like a lot of free options available. So you should have your game quality better, else like you're not going to survive in this industry. Okay, so the one thing that we focused on, like to introduce courses for young graduates in IT, for in gaming. The second thing is we introduced an internship program to train the gamers in mm, to train the young game developers how to make products. The third thing is that okay, there are some indie developers who want to publish their game. We are up for their mentorship and how to publish and connect them with the publishers. So these two three things that we are doing, we are doing it actually through an association here in our province, Information Technology Association Pakhtunkhwa. So as we are doing it under that platform, because in AptechMedia, it's more of a business centered, but in our that domain, we are more in like working for the community. So these are
Got
the
it.
two things that I do.
Well, that is really cool. I mean, to kind of grow, and also you're growing the whole pie, right? As well, the whole
Yeah.
pie is growing too. So getting back to games as a business, and especially as someone who's growing the pie and helping other young developers, if someone is just starting out, they either have just left a big studio like you did and they want to start their own thing, or they're a new graduate and they know that this is what they want to do. How do you make the jump from being a hobbyist to having a game as a real business? Are there any things that you learned the hard way doing that you would share as maybe one or two insights you learned from doing it yourself? You said
Okay.
follow the data. That's of course a very
Yeah.
important one,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Okay. No. I will go through like my experience and how what are the things that we normally make those mistakes, and which uh, like which are very easy things, but nobody like give like nobody
Pay,
focuses on those things. And
right.
yeah, so the first thing is, don't be overconfident and say that okay, I can do it all alone. Make a
Mm,
team, and your team should be like a complete team. If you're developing a game, so you should have a designer on the team, you should have a developer on the team, you should have a monetization guy on the team, you should have a marketing guy on the team, you should have a games economy mm, kind of guy on the team. Like every kind of guy you should have on the team, like a team of 5 or 6 people or two. Or if one guy can do like 2 or 3 roles, that's completely okay. But you should have every sector covered of the gaming industry when if you want to start on your own. Don't say like, okay, I'm a developer. I will develop a game. I will do the game design. I will design the UI and UX. I will do the marketing stuff. I will do the monetization stuff. I will do the game economy stuff, and I will do everything. This is not the thing. Like,
it's not going to
okay,
work.
yeah, this may be true for in some cases. Okay, if there's a genius and he can do it all alone, but that will be a case like 1 in a million. So not every person is such a 1 in a million type of genius. So you should have a complete team all around, like the complete roles of the team all around uh, to start with.
And
Second thing,
also, I would imagine you would get burned out too, right? You would
yeah,
eventually just say, I can't do all this
yeah,
anymore. Yeah.
yeah.
What's the second
Uh,
thing?
Okay, second thing, as I said, uh, don't fall in love with a crappy idea.
Mm,
Like, okay, you loved an idea, you want to work on that, but for how long? For 5 months, 6 months, 1 year. If it's like if you are in indie studio, you should release games or two in the starting 1 year just to like start earning money. If you don't start earning money, after all, it's not working for the business. For the business, you should work on the ideas that your audience like. As I said before, make it for the audience. Don't fall in love with your idea that no, okay, it's not working, so let's change it again, then change it again, and you spend years and years on the same idea. So maybe and probably it work after 5 or 6 years, but who will be with you on your team after 5 or 6 years?
mm.
After all, it's a business. If you're doing it for the business, then think like a businessman. If
Right.
you're doing it as a hobbyist, then like okay, then continue
Whatever.
your yeah, then continue whatever. But if you're doing it for business, then think like a businessman.
That's simple but extremely powerful advice, I think. And because
Thank you.
if you were to start another business, any or other sort of business, you would never think like that. You would always think, "Oh, I need to sell what people want." But when it's a creative thing, like a game or something like that, there's often a different way of thinking of, well, it's my thing and it's my creation, and people don't always immediately think business first. They think my creation first and then business. So I think that's really powerful advice.
Well, one of my mentor once told me that there are two things in a game. One is psychology, and the second is economy.
Yeah.
So you should focus on these two things: the psychology of the users and the economy of the game.
Yeah.
So when these two things combine, it can make a successful game. If even one is missing, you cannot make a successful game out of it. So these two, he told me that okay, this take this advice, and I took that very like I will say very seriously.
Yeah,
That
it's
okay, I will
yeah.
focus on these two things: the psychology and the economy.
Well, you might be telling people right now the same advice, so that's very,
Yeah,
very
yeah,
nice to
yeah.
say.
The same advice for all that. Okay, have a hold of your users' mind. Yeah, you should read the through the data that's coming. And the second thing is you should have monetized your game enough, and your game economy should be the way that it's earning money for you.
Well, you mentioned the game economy, balancing the economy. You've talked about a monetization specialist. Could you talk a little bit about how to do that so that you're actually making the most money possible with your game, whether it's balancing the game economy or making sure you have the right amount of ads or ads in the right way or IAPs in the right way? Do you have anything you could share on that?
Yeah. Well, to be honest, it's like a very vast field, in the gaming, like in the whole game development cycle. It's like I will say it's the 20-30% of the whole cycle
Yeah.
that you manage your game economy. Uh, you should manage it in such a way that it's engaging for your users, like the way you lock things, the way you unlock things, the way you unlock features, the way you give them the rewards, the way they achieve the rewards. It should be like very smooth, and there should not be like not very hard and not very easy, because if it's very easy, it's not interesting for your players. If it's very hard, they're gonna give up and
Yeah.
move away from the game. The second thing is, okay, is this the enough amount of money I am spending in acquiring a single user? So you should be very balanced on your ROI also. So you should balance it between the hard and easy, and between the your spending on a single user, and acquiring a single user, and then getting money back from that user. So these are like the few balances, like one thing up and down, and your whole game economy and your game revenue that will like the game economy inside the game, that has an impact on the game revenue that you will get. So you should focus on the game economy in the game and also on your ROI.
How about though, like the experience of ads? If some people see too many ads, then they lose interest, or but then if there's not enough, uh, uh, then you're not making enough money. So how do you figure out how to balance that part of it?
Well, you should have one in-app purchase in your game that says remove ads and pay this much.
Mm, okay.
Okay, if you see it, okay, I have an option to remove the ads. So they go for and they love the game, so they buy that in-app purchases. The good part is that you can also do it like buy any in-app in the game, and the ads will be removed. Not only the remove ads, because if they like the game, they are surely going for an in-app purchase. If not, if there are some like purchase power problems, especially I will say in the South Asian market, there are some problems are with the payment gateways, some problems are with the purchase power, because the users are not that much powerful in purchasing in apps. So the best model is like going for the reward video, because the reward video I feel is like a kind of ad that user click on it themselves and they know
Right.
that okay, I am
They
going
don't
to see
hate
the
it.
ad. Okay,
Yeah.
you are not giving them the surprise that no, you should watch this ad. Like it's not a surprise ad.
Right.
It's the ad that the user want to see to get those coins or to get the rewards. So they select it for themselves that okay, I'm going to see an ad.
And then they can get something that they might have otherwise had to purchase,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. That's a good insight. You're also you're using Maz as well for ads, right? How's the
Yeah.
experience been with that?
Well, Mass, the experience till now, it's great. Like I shared my insights in a webinar
I
also
watched
with
it.
the, yeah, okay, okay, thank you. So it gives you for iOS and for I checked the games that are doing well in China. It's has like 3x or 4x good performance. Uh, in other countries also, it can give you like 2x performance or 3x performance, depending on the country and the type of your audience. On Android, I myself see a 1.5x or 2x uh, increase you can see on your games. The good part in Mass is like when we integrate other like mediations, you need to integrate every ad and like then go for like, but Mass its integration is quite easy, and also all the things are managed by managed because as the name suggests, it's
That's what
already
it's
managed.
called. Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
called managed.
Right.
So like all the things are managed by Mass.
Yeah. Okay. Um, well, yeah. I mean, I appreciate your insights. I have the one more question, if that's okay to ask you, and that is, what are you most excited about right now? But that means maybe the future of Aptech Media. But what is the thing that you are most interested in working on? Is the passion that you had when you started still alive? You still have it,
Yeah,
and what if so?
yeah.
What is the thing that you get most excited about?
Well, and I will talk in terms of Epic Media, and in very near future, I want to replace these glasses with VR glasses for the products of
Oh
Epic
yeah,
Media.
oh yeah.
Yeah. So we are very much like for the past 1 year, we are working on VR products, and we will soon be launching that. Not soon, by the end of this year or by the in the start of the next year. But we are very much excited for that, and I hope just like I am passionate about our those games and simulations. I hope that people will also love that, and they will replace their glasses with VR also to check our
VR,
products.
VR or AR, because there are some also coming out with mixed reality
VR.
experiences.
Actually,
Okay,
meanwhile, we are working on VR, some very amazing stuff. That's because I worked on it like for like 1 year now, me and my team. But we are not rushing that thing. We want to make it like a complete, a whole great experience,
very
and
cool.
then launch it. Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. What is there anything else that you want to promote or let people know about if they're watching this and want to check out one of your games that you would recommend or anything else?
Well, not the game. I have just one advice. That there will be two industries. One is food industry, because whatever human can do, wherever human can go, they will get hungry and they will eat food.
It's good advice. Yeah.
Yeah, and the second thing is they will get bored always, so they will be needing entertainment. So you should be either in the food industry or in the entertainment industry. Getting in the food industry is difficult. Entertainment industry is for you. Go for some like amazing games, for very entertaining games, and the industry is yours.
Yeah, that's great. That's great advice. There's a third industry that I won't mention that's also necessary, but but I think the one you talked about is a little bit more fun. All right. Well, Hilal, I really appreciate your time. Thank you so much for doing this interview with me. It's been great, and I hope to talk to you again.
Sure, soon. Soon we will meet for another interview. Thank you for inviting me, and see you soon, inshallah.